Hi, welcome to another video from Dr. Lock. What we're going to have a look at in this video is space and depth keys. These keys can be used to cut a key to code without needing a code machine. What we have here is this standard key cutting duplicating machine, Silca Duo. You can use these on any other key cutting machine as well. By using these space and depth keys, I'm going to show you how to cut a key to code from the lock. So we don't know what the code is, and we're going to simply pull apart the lock to get the barrel out, or the plug, and then from there we can use a blank key to either read the colors, or from there we can use our space and depth keys to go through and identify which cuts are which. So I'm putting in the number 2 at the moment, just carefully sliding it in. Okay, and I can see on this particular example, I can see there is two number 2 cuts and a 1 at the end. If this is a number 2, I can tell that there's 2 2s and a 1 at the end. So by going through various keys here, I can see which height is which and what needs to be on the key. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to actually cut a key for a lock, and then we're going to test it out to show you how it all works. First of all, you start off with your blank key. You put that in your key machine. I'll just quickly plug in my key machine here. We have power. Okay, so for this example here, I have my lock dismantled. If I didn't have my lock dismantled, I could simply cut the code to any particular code I wanted. So if I wanted 5353, I could simply just use key number 5, then key number 3, key number 5, key number 3. So for this example, I'll walk you through, and we're going to find the first cut to start off with. So this one here, I can see it's a little bit low, so I'm going to go with the next one. And I'm happy with that one there. And that's a number 1. See the marking on the back, number 1. These keys are sold on our lock shop from drlock.com.au. They're called space and depth keys, and let's go through and start to use them. So I've got the blank key here, I've got my space and depth keys on this side. I'm going to line it up using my shoulder. I've got the machine in the off position at the moment, flicking my shoulder down. Now I'm ready to start cutting the first cut, which is the first groove on the key, which is located right here. I'll zoom you in a little bit more so you can see what's happening. You can just see what's happening there. Not really. How about we start off doing this side, and then I'll show you the other side. So I'm going to trace the first one onto the key. Going down the valley, going back over the valley, going down the valley, going back over the valley. Turn the machine off. So I've just cut the first one there. Now I'm going to go through on my keys here, and I'm going to find the next appropriate one. Just by looking at it, I'm going to go for a number 5. So number 5 for position 2. I'm happy with that. Once again, I'm going to put the key back in the machine. This time I'm using the number 5 key, tightening it up, shoulder guide in, adjusting it so it's corresponding with my blank key. Turn the machine on. I'll show you what's happening over this side this time. So I'm moving into position number 2. Actually, I'll show you this one, that's probably better. I'm moving into position number 2. So I'm going to count number 2, and I'm going to go right in the middle. And there's our key there. You can see we've cut 2 cuts on it. Now I go back to my cylinder here, and just by looking at it I can tell number 3 is going to be sufficient there. Yep, that's nice and smooth. So for these 2 green ones here, in position 3 and 4, I'm going to be using the 3 key. and I'll set you up right about here so you can see it cut. Probably better. So I'm going to move the slide along. Okay, you can see there. And now we're just left with the last one. I'm going to be using probably a 2 on that, I would say, just by the look of it. You will get quicker the more you do it. Like me, you can tell simply just by looking at it. Okay, so I can tell it's smooth there, so I'm going to use a 2 for the last cut. Now these are 5-pin keys. You can get them in 6-pin. You can use 6-pin to do 5-pin as well. And you can use also the reverse profile on your space and depth for the same manufacturer and achieve that. Now one more thing, when I'm doing this last cut, I'm going to rotate the jaw along, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to do on this side, just so you can get an idea of how these work. It's very hard to do the camera work here. So I'm going to come along almost at the top of the ramp there, and then I'm going to go across, but what I'm not going to do is go into my 4th or 3rd cut. I'm going to actually bring the plunger down in my cut and then go backwards and forwards so I can get that height. So I'll just double check we lined it up. Yep, we did. Okay, now we're going to have a look at the key. I'm going to show you what we've produced. We've produced this key here. Now we're actually checking all the valleys to make sure that we've got a nice slope going up this way, we've got a nice slope going up this way, and there's no sharp edges where the pin will get caught. Okay, then we would give the key a bit of a buff to take off all those little burrs along the back there. I'll quickly do that. You see that's better. And we could put it back in our lock, and we could see that all of those pins right now are nice and smooth, and we've just cut that key right there to code, or we've cut it via the lock as well using space and depth keys, these keys here. So they basically come 0 all the way up to 9, and they also include the A as well, the A being the deepest cut, never really used, but in case you're cutting some special system or something, it is there for you. That's for the Lockwood LW4 C4 profile, and they're available from drlock.com.au. They allow you to use a standard key cutting machine like this, turn it into a code machine for around about $30 to $40, as compared with a code machine which will cost you minimum $5,000. So this allows you to work on broken keys as well. For example, if we had a key like this and it was broken in half, we could put both of these parts back together, we could measure it and work out where we need it to be and replicate the key. These space and depth allow for example, this groove right here allows us to find where the center is on this groove, and it also allows us the height from here to here to be accurate as well to the manufacturer's specifications. Available from drlock.com.au. There's other ranges of space and depth keys there, and I'll take you through a few other videos on them. Thank you.